Let's get started with Mysterium, which is my show of wonders, illusions, and astonishments, I hope. I've been doing magic since I was probably 8 or 10 years old. My mom brought me back a magic set from FAO Schwartz in New York, and I took to it immediately, and I really loved it. And this is a picture of me at a very early age. I'm probably 12, maybe 14 in this, and I've got the cards and the rabbit in the hat, and it's a publicity picture for shows I never gave. But nonetheless, all set to go. And amazingly, I still have those cards that are in the picture. You go through life and a lot of stuff comes into your life, a lot of stuff comes, a lot of stuff goes, but a few things seem to always make the cut. And these cards from that trick are one of the things that have made the cut. I actually could show you the trick. I don't think we're in any big rush tonight. I don't know if it's a very good trick. I bought it at the Magic Center in New York, which was a wonderful little place, a hole-in-the-wall magic shop. It was run by Russell Delmar. And this was an early trick that I got there. And it involves, whoa, my goodness. Either that or let the duck out. You have 4 kings, okay? Then you take an ace and you put it in here. You give it a blow and a wave. You open it up, and 1, 2, 3. I turn these around. Now we have 4 aces. How did he do it? Then we put in a blank card.
You pointed out the picture, right?
Yeah. And we have 4 blanks. One of the earliest tricks I ever got, it goes back about 60 years. And as I say, it somehow has made the cut through a lot of changes and moves in my life. Also, you'll notice in the picture, there is a rabbit in a hat. And that was Elmwood version 1, number 1. And that was many, many years ago. I think we're on about Elmwood version 183 by now. Although with the pandemic, it might be 283. It's a little hard to say, but you know how rabbits are. In any event, Elmwood, great ancestor is here. And when you're a magician, people ask you usually like 3 questions. Can you cut your wife in half? No, I don't do that. If I did, she'd be my better half. Can you make the Statue of Liberty disappear? No, I can't. Can you pull a rabbit out of your hat? And the answer to that is, I hope I can. Well, we'll get back to him. I don't think he wants to cooperate at the moment. Oh well. Okay. In magic, there are sort of basic effects that go back millennia. The fact is, magic is a very, very old art. It's been around since ancient times. There are depictions on the walls of tombs in Egypt, in the pyramids, of people doing magic. And if you look at art across the ages and across cultures, you will see people doing magic tricks, often the very same magic tricks. I write books, and they say there are 7 or 8 basic plots in all of literature, and everything is a reworking or an interpretation of that. And magic is somewhat the same. There are a limited number of effects that are in the world of magic, and magicians reinterpret them over the years. They give them their own unique spin, whatever the case may be, and they try to make them their own. I'm going to show you a couple of the little effects that define magic as an art. This is what we call an apparatus, a prop. It's what we use to make our effects. Sometimes it's ordinary, everyday objects, sometimes it's exotic things, or sometimes a combination of both. And magic is where reality becomes a dream, where everyday objects do strange and impossible things, and also where dreams become reality, where impossible things happen and become real. One of the early effects and long-term effects of magic is what's called a color change. And as the name implies, something changes color. Now you can do this with cards, you can do this with coins, and you can do it like I'm doing here with the silk. We call these silks because they're made of silks. And it goes in my fist as red, and it comes out the bottom Now that's a basic, simple color. You can do first. So it goes in the top, yellow. I'll get it out of my fist. Comes out the bottom, back to red. The way it was to begin with. Now somehow I've lost myself on the screen there. That's a little better. So that's a basic color change. One of the most common and old effects in all of magic. Now, that's not all we can do. We can do other things as well. We can do what's called a transformation. And a transformation is when an object takes on different properties. So before you saw me put the silk in my hand that came out the bottom a different color. Transformation is a whole different thing. As the name implies, something changes its form, its structure, its shape, its very essence.
Wow.
So the silk becomes. Thank you. Now, there are other effects like levitation. You've probably all seen the woman floating across the stage and like that. Levitation is where something just defies gravity. It starts to float in defiance of the laws of physics, something we're going to be exploring a little bit tonight. And that's levitation. Now, there's more. There's also, that was L1. There's also translocation or transportation, where something goes from one place to another. You can take the ball, give it a tap, give that a tap, and now the ball has gone into the little vase. That's called translocation or transportation. Now, there are more effects. There are, for example, penetration. Penetration is when, as the name implies, something goes through something else. The ball is no longer in the vase. You know, it seems impossible that that ball could go through the stem of that vase, given the size, but it's exactly what happens in translocation and penetration. Now, people sometimes say, can you go backwards in magic? If you've done something, can you go the other direction? Well, let's see if we can. Started with silk, and we're back to the silk. We're almost done with some of the basic effects, but there's one that defines almost all of magic, and I'm sure you've all seen it, and that's a simple vanish, where something disappears. Now, you're used to this by now and familiar. The silk goes into my hand, doesn't come out the bottom a different color. It might come out as a ball again, who knows? Or it might just vanish. Where does it go? Well, that's the interesting thing. I've combined several effects: a vanish, a transformation, and a translocation. And the silk is back where it started. And those are some of the basic tricks that we have in the ancient art of magic. I guess there's a pause, you never know. Very strange. Okay, now I do want to get some folks involved. And we're going to, if possible, get 3 people to help us with this trick, which, as I said, gets you involved. On the matchbook, I'm going to take out 4 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of them we use to light the candle. And if you're willing to help us volunteer here, please raise your hand and let our hosts know, and we'll pick 3 people, I'm sorry. Anyone want to help out? Bill, can you see anybody helping out? Otherwise, I'm going to have to choose people. And that's the other thing I wanted to say at the beginning. I forgot to say that nothing has been
I see Brody.
with anybody.
Brody.
Brody, Okay, that's one. I need two more.
Barb,
Barb, okay.
Sheldon.
Brody, Barb, and Sheldon. We'll do it in that order. Brody, Barb, and Sheldon. Okay, Brody, we're going to deal with a deck of cards, an imaginary deck of cards. And we have the spot cards, the number cards, ace through 10. And we have the court cards, Jack, Queen, and King. First decision is what we're going to burn. Whether we're going to burn or the court cards. Got it, Brody?
got it.
All you have to do is tell me, light the match, before the match burns out, number cards or court cards. What's your choice?
Number card.
Number cards. Good choice. All the number cards are gone. Ace, 8, 10, gone. That leaves the court card, Jack, the Queen, and King. What are we going to burn next? That's the question for Barb, was it? Next? Is that right, Barb? Okay, Barb, we're going to make a choice of what we burn next. The men, the Jacks and the Kings, or the Queen?
She has to unmute.
She has to unmute and she has to tell us the men or the women.
The Queen.
Queens, okay? There we're going to be burned next. In the Queen, Sheldon, this is up to you now. You can be a hero. There are the Queen of diamonds, clubs, hearts, and spades. Now they're all going to go up in flames in this little story, except one. And you're going to have a chance to be a hero and save one queen from the flames.
Spades.
Queen of spades. Okay. I haven't touched the deck of cards since the very beginning. You said the Queen of Spades, the queen you wanted to save. Now, normally I would hand someone this little box and let them open it. A little hard to do, but inside the box, you can see there's a card clipped together with a paper clip, a folded up card. Don't need the paper clip. Let's see, I can get that thing off. There we go. I don't know if you can see, but the card is a little bit singed. Open it up. Sheldon saved the Queen of Spades.
Wow.
In the fire. Of all the cards in the deck, it was his choice to save the Queen of Spades. Thanks for your help, everybody. And that's exactly what I mean when we need participation from folks in the course of this thing. Now, let me blow this out so we don't set the house on fire. My dad, who Sheldon knew, was a great guy. We were very close, and he lived to 105 years old. And like dads do, he taught me a lot of lessons in life, too many to even mention here. But he taught me things like how to hit a baseball. He taught me how to enjoy a good steak and a beer. He taught me a little bit about women, about travel, and he taught me about money too. And when I was a young man, he gave me this Eisenhower silver dollar, and it came with a lesson. I want to give you a little bit of the lesson my dad gave me about money. I hope you can see that. It's a pretty coin. Has the moon landing on the back. Eisenhower silver dollar. And he said, Todd, if you work hard and you're honest and you really find something you want to do, you'll earn some money. And if you keep working, you can double your money. If you're lucky and you do that, if you end up having some money that you saved up, the thing you should do is take some of it and put it away as if it doesn't even exist. It's there, but think of it as savings and don't think of it. Don't even realize you have it. Just pretend it's gone and it will be there for a rainy day. Now, if you keep working hard, you can, again, double your money.
Wow.
He said, now this is the important thing about money and how to handle it. Don't keep it all in the same place. Tom McDonough, I'm sure, would agree with this. You want to diversify your assets. So don't put it all just in stocks or in bonds or in real estate or art. You've got to try to diversify your money. So you want to keep some here and some here. You want to keep it diverse. Keep it in different places, whether it's here or here, doesn't matter. Just diversify your money. And even if you do that, you may find that over time, you might lose some money. And that's okay. Money comes, money goes. It's not always easy to hold on to what you have, but remember, you got some in savings. He also advised me not to gamble. He said, gambling is a fool's errand. You go to a casino or a place like that, and they'll happily take your money and turn it into a poker chip. Still worth $1, but they've removed it from that sense of it being currency and being a coin. It's an abstraction, it's symbolic. It's not really money in the same way that a coin is. Now, casinos being casinos, of course, they'll let you cash it in, turn it back. They'll let you turn it back into a poker chip. They'll let you win a little money too. In fact, they might let you win a little more money. Casinos are not in the business of letting you win and keep your money. They will ultimately take it back. The house always wins. You'll get to a point where you feel that you've kind of blown it, that you've lost your money. That's what casinos will do. He said, you're better off really to take that poker chip, give it a little rub and a wave, and turn it back in to the silver dollar that you started with. And he said, but even if you do that, you have to understand, you might lose your money. Money comes and money goes. But remember at the start of all this, he said, put away some money. Take some of your earnings and put them away in that place where they don't really seem to exist, but they do. And that was a wise lesson. And all these lessons about money and about life mean a lot to me. In fact, they are golden, like you can see. A golden coin now. Golden memories of what my dad taught me.
Wow.
Really gold, actually just silver. Symbolically gold, but in reality, just silver. And those are some of the lessons my dad taught me about life and about money that I treasure. Okay. Ding dong. What is that? Okay. Let's see. I'll take a sip here. Back in the 1930s, physics was undergoing a lot of changes and a lot of development. And of course, that was after Einstein had come up with his theory of relativity and E equals mc squared and so on. And it was really a big golden age of physics. There was also another fellow around that time, Werner Heisenberg. And Heisenberg was kind of the father of quantum physics, which is subatomic particles and very, very strange stuff. It's actually perfect to deal with magic. And I want to do a little experiment that kind of gets into quantum physics and what's called quantum entanglement. And to do it, I use a brand new deck of cards that hasn't been opened. And I want to use a new deck for a reason. Let's see if I can. Because a new deck comes in a very specific order. Seal. It's called new deck order, and decks always follow this. And new deck order, well, we don't need the jokers, starts with the ace of spades. It goes up into the hearts, into the diamonds, and then it goes back down, goes all the way until we get to the clubs. And we don't need the advertising card either. I'm going to do a little experiment using first 10 cards in the spades realm. The ace through 10 of spades, just the way they came out of the factory. Ordered perfectly. And they're going to stay in that order, and I'm going to put them in the glass. I'm not going to touch them. Okay, now we're going to use 10 of the hearts as well. Now here's where it gets a little hard when we're doing Zoom. Normally, I would have somebody shuffle the cards at this point, but I can't really do that. So I'm going to shuffle them. I want to get them disordered. I want to get them in a random order. These are perfectly in order, but the point now, I'll do some cuts. So let's see how we're doing. Better, I'll do a few more. I want them as random as possible. Okay, that's pretty good, I think. Final cut or two. Now, I'm going to need some help from somebody in a moment. And let's see, whoops, sorry, I got my mic here. Do we have another volunteer? Someone who can just name a card when I ask for it. Anyone?
I see Tim.
Tim? Okay. Let me get the cards we shuffled up. Don't need the rest of the deck. Okay. We've got these cards in a random order. These are ordered, these are random. And where we're heading with this is the idea of quantum entanglement. And that is that what happens to one subatomic particle affects another, even if it's thousands of miles away or halfway around the world. And this is perfect because you're on the other coast, you're in San Francisco. So Tim, I want you, as I run my hand along here, to tell me to stop at some point.
Stop.
Okay, what is that? I've lost my
Four
screen.
of hearts.
Four of hearts. We're going to further randomize this by turning the four of hearts backwards, okay? So we've got a random set of cards, one of them even more so, the four has been turned backwards. Now, quantum entanglement says that what happens here affects what happens here. And we're going to see if we can affect that. Remember, these have been disordered. These are in perfect order. So I'm going to cover these up. And this cloth prevents me from getting anywhere near them, and also represents the veil of mystery. It's interesting because Einstein thought that all this stuff about quantum entanglement, something here affecting something there, he called it spooky action at a distance. He really didn't believe in it, but it's perfect for magic because what is magic but spooky action at a distance? So that's what we're going to try to see, is if we can make the cards that have been disordered and rearranged affects the ones that are still ordered. Let's see if we can make these affect these. Okay. Now, we've changed the front card. The five are entangled, as are the eights behind them, as are the aces behind them, and the tens, and the nines, and the threes. We reversed one card, as you recall. There's a card reversed here. Tim's four of hearts, four of spades followed suit. As did the sixes, the twos, and the sevens. And that is a good example and demonstration of quantum entanglement, although I just call it magic. All right, let's see. I'm always learning new tricks. And pardon me just a minute. sometimes they don't go as well as I would like. And I have difficulty with them. And that might be the case with this particular trick here. Now, again, this is going to be a challenge on Zoom because this is a trick where I have to have someone sign a dollar bill and do things with a dollar bill. And that's not going to be so easy. So we're going to pick one, two, we got $5 here. Again, so I run my hand, Bill or Donna, just tell me which one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which bill do we want to use? Number.
3.
3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, a dollar bill, of course, has a serial number, which makes it completely unique. And maybe someone can write that number down if you can see it, because this is important. So we want to write that down. And also, I want some people to give me some numbers or initials we're going to put on this card to make it further unique. Have you been someone able to write it down, Bill or Donna or Sheldon or anybody?
It's
Just-
blurry.
Looks like 3059 Charlie, are the last digits.
Let me see. Let me 063030059 Charlie. Okay, but let's keep going. Someone tell me a two initials. Deb, how about you? Can you give me 2 initials?
Sure, JS.
JS. Okay, I've written JS here, there. Somebody else give me 4 numbers, random numbers. Anybody?
Brody,
Brody?
1774.
1774. Okay, 1774. Now I'm going to put some glasses on George Washington. And anyone else suggest one more thing? We have the serial number, which I shouldn't have written over, but I did. Something else that, not my instigation, that we put on this just to help us identify what it is. Anybody?
I think George needs a mask.
Mask. There you go. Perfect. Okay, this is a very bizarre but unique dollar, to say the least. All right, now I said I was having problem with learning a trick, so you're going to have to bear with me here because I might not get this right. It's sort of a translocation and transformation trick. So I'm going to take that bill that is as unique a bill as exists on the planet, and this cup. Now this cup, if again we were together, I would be able to tell you to look at it, that it has no mirrors, no magnets, no monkeys, nothing like that. It's just no midgets. It's just a cup. You have to take my word for it because we can't actually do anything with it. Okay, now here's the problem I'm having with the trick. The bill goes into the cup. The bill comes out of the cup. I'm supposed to be able to control whether the bill is in the cup or the bill is in my hand. That's sort of the basic premise of the trick. In the cup or in my hand. The problem is I haven't gotten this down yet. So when I think it's in my hand, it turns out it's in the cup. I know, it surprises me too. I'll try that again. In the cup, in my hand, that part's easy. Now, I want someone here to guess, in the cup or in the hand? In the cup.
Brody,
Okay, let's try that again. Pour it out. What do you think? It's in my hand or in the cup? Brody, what do you think?
I'm going to say in the hand since we've had a lot of cups. But
Pretty good guess. It's not in the hand, it is actually under the cup. That's the problem I have with the trick too. I can't really figure out how I'm supposed to do it. it gets confusing to me. And I don't know whether it's going to appear in my hand or in the cup. And when the magician gets fooled by a trick, that's not a good thing. You're supposed to know what's going to happen with your tricks. Again, you have to know where it's going to be, in the hand or in the cup, in the hand or in the cup. Brody, you got a surprise coming. It's not in the hand. You think it's in the cup, but unfortunately it's not in the cup. Now there's a lemon under the cup. So what happened to our unique dollar bill? Whoa, sorry, hit my lavalier. Well, it's possible in the world of magic that that bill has transformed into the lemon. And I could end the trick there, but I'm not so sure. I want to see if perhaps something absolutely astonishing has happened and the bill maybe is inside the lemon. And to do that, I need somewhere here I have a plate and a knife. We're going to cut open the lemon. I don't see anything yet. I'll get you a little more light on it. Take another slice. I see something in there. I do. I think I see something in the inside the lemon, and I gotta
Wow.
it's a little soggy, but I have to tell you, it smells nice. And it looks like that is the most unique dollar on the planet. I haven't quite figured out all the ins and outs of the trick, but I have figured out how to get it inside a lemon. And usually I borrow this from somebody and give it to somebody. I'm going to let it dry out and save it as a little memento of the Mysterium of December 7th for the Thames Club. Thank you. Now, everyone doing okay? Up for a few more? I gotta wet my
A
hands.
few more.
Couple more?
Sure.
Hi, Russ.
Hi, Todd. How are you?
Okay.
My grandson Brody, who's been helping you with those tricks.
Well, Brody's been a big help, and I appreciate it. Thank you. And you helped me at the Thames Club a few times, so
I did.
there too. Now, my dad said, as I told you, not to gamble, and mostly I listened to him. But I have to confess, while I don't go to casinos because I learned that lesson about the poker chips, I do sometimes like to play poker, and I get together occasionally and have a nice poker game. Now, all of you have probably seen those crazy paintings of dogs sitting around, playing poker, and they got their chips and they got their beer and they're smoking cigars, just like humans, except they're dogs. Well, I have a game that I play once a month with dogs. And they invite me over, and I bring some beer and some kibble treats and some tacos and this and that. And they say also they want me to bring my cards because they know I'm a magician. And the thing about dogs is they got little paws compared to humans. They can't really play with the big cards that we use. So they say, you're a magician. Why don't you bring cards that you have through your magic abilities made a little bit smaller. You can see they're smaller cards that work well for the dogs. Now, every Friday of the month, not every Friday, every third Friday of the month, I get together and play poker with the bunnies, magic bunnies. And bunnies have even smaller little paws than doggies. And they say, bring your own cards and see if you can make cards that are a little bit more bunny size. And that's the size of cards I use when I play with the bunnies. I think the bunnies tend to cheat. I don't know. They always win. So we got the little bunny cards. Now, after I play with the bunnies, about every third or fourth month, I play with the mice. And they have even smaller little hands and paws. And those are the size cards I have to use when I play with the mice. You can see how much smaller they are than human-sized cards. Now, where there are dogs and there are bunnies and there are mice, there are bound to be fleas. You got it. And when I play with the fleas, I use these itty bitty, little tiny cards that are so tiny you can barely see them. I have to use a magnifying glass when I play with the fleas. And you can see how tiny they are compared to a human-sized card. Almost infinitesimal. And I have to say, if there's a big breeze in the room, the cards blow away. Well, so do the fleas. Now, I don't know where they go, but I'm sure someday I'll figure it out. And that's my story of gambling with the animals, even though my dad told me not to. Okay, now I want to show you another classic of magic. And this was a trick, interestingly, created by a grocer, a guy named John Ramsey. He did magic as well, but his main stock and trade in life was as a grocer. And I'm going to have to gather a few little props here, so bear with me. Let's see. I need some silver dollars. 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And a little cork. Okay. Now, this is a rather complicated and difficult trick, to say the least, and I'm still learning it. I started learning it during the pandemic. And it's a real challenge for a sleight of hand artist. So we'll see if I can pull this off. It's very difficult. It involves, as I said, 4 coins. These are Morgan dollars, very, very pretty old coins. And if you're going to spend a lot of time practicing magic, which I do, because it's difficult to learn some of this stuff, you want to use pretty old coins because they're nice to handle and they got a lot of history to them. Some of them go back 100 years or more. So this trick uses 4 coins, a little piece of cork that's basically just a slice from a wine bottle cork, and a little tube made out of leather, a little hollow tube made out of leather. And whatever you put in the tube, of course, if I can hold on to it, if you drop it in, comes out the bottom, comes out the top. Like so. So we've got the cork, we've got the hollow tube, and we've got the $4. Here's what Ramsey's challenge to the artist, sleight of hand artist, is. Remember, cork over here, coins here. He said, you've got to take the coins and without anyone seeing it, putting them into the little cylinder, one at a time. One at a time. There are different ways to put them in. For example, you can take the silver essence from the coin and drop it into the cylinder as well. So you've got the 4 coins that you want to put in the cylinder. And hopefully I've done that. Now that would be astonishing if I got the 4 coins into the cylinder. But I think what's going to keep you awake tonight, staring at the ceiling as you try to figure out how to do these tricks, even though you really shouldn't look at them as puzzles, you should just look at them as entertainment and wonder, but you will try to figure this one out. And what's going to be difficult to figure out is not so much how the 4 coins got into the cylinder, but how they managed to get under the cork inside the cylinder. And there they are. Now, of course, Ramsey being Ramsey, he wanted to make this a challenge for magicians. he didn't want to just end there. He said, no, you've got to reverse the process. So you've got to take the cork, put that in your hand. You've got to square these up. Got to take the cylinder, put it back. And now you've got to try to get the coins back into your hand. So once again, I'll take the silver essence of the coin, put it in my hand. And one of the coins has come back from the cylinder to my hand. Second one, just grab it out of the air and it comes back. Third one, give it a blow and it comes back. 3 coins out of the cylinder and the fourth as well. And if I've done what I'm supposed to do, I've got the 4 coins out of the cylinder, which means the piece of cork should be under. And indeed, it is. And that's John Ramsey's classic trick. A piece of cork, 4 silver dollars, and a little tube. I hope I did it passably well. Okay, we're rounding third, hopefully not heading for second. That sometimes happens in life. And I'm going to end up with a trick that I'm really going to definitely need someone who has a strong imagination to help me. Who thinks they've got a really powerful, strong imagination? I need a volunteer, and you're going to have to unmute.
Charles.
Chuck.
Charles.
Charles who?
Hi.
Charles Friedman, not Friedman, but you know, Charles.
I think youth has the advantage of a great imagination, and that's perfect. And Charles, are you willing to help?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. I have a deck of cards here, all different, all shuffled up. And I'm going to keep it in the box. And before we go any further, I'm going to put the box here. Let's give you the pretty side. So, once again, I'm not going to touch it. I have nothing to do with the box. Now, Charles, I need your imagination. And this is also a little bit of kind of quantum entanglement again, but not from just here to here, 6 inches.
May I interrupt?
You may.
Well, may I interject that Charles is in Hawaii? So that makes this trick even more amazing.
Yes. We're not just talking about going from here to here. We're talking about going offshore all the way to Hawaii, which is why I'm glad we have a young person with a very powerful imagination who's going to help us with this trick. Now, Charles, I want you to imagine, I have a shuffled deck of cards here. I want you in your mind's eye, in your imagination, to imagine a deck of cards spread out on the table in front of you, okay? All shuffled up. You can shuffle them if you like, but I want them all shuffled up on the table, okay? Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want you to, in your mind's eye, take 1 card out of that deck, any card you like. Tell me when you've taken it out.
Got it.
Got it. Can you tell us what the card is?
3 of spades.
3 of spades. Okay. Any particular reason you picked the 3 of spades? What drew you to it, or just random?
Just random.
Okay. We have the 3 of spades. I want you to now imagine that you have a Sharpie marker like the one I used to mark the bill. And I want you to, on the back of that 3 of spades, draw a black X, big, bold, black X in your imagination. Do that.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the 3 of spades. It's got a big black X on it. On the table are face-up cards all mixed. Take that 3 of spades, flip it over, and put it into the deck and square up the deck. Tell me when you've done that.
Okay.
Okay, put it back in the box, the imaginary box. In the imaginary box.
Okay.
Okay, so now, quantum entanglement. as if we had two particles. Instead of two particles, we have two decks of cards. One is imaginary and one right here is real. Now, since you're so far away, I'm going to bring into play the quantum concentrator. I just lost my lavalier. Hold on a sec there. Folks, but that's okay. I want you to look at that quantum concentrator because this is difficult. You're all the way in Hawaii, and we're going to try to see if we can have what happens in your deck happen in this deck. Okay. If we were successful, if young Charles's imagination is strong enough, and if quantum entanglement really does exist, then this deck of cards perhaps will be in the same condition, be influenced by the imaginary deck that Charles has been talking about. Okay, let's see if there's a card reversed in the deck. Looks like right at the top there is one. All the other ones are face up. There is, however, one card reversed, as you can see, and that card has a black X on it. 2/3 of the way towards what I would call a miracle. Because if this card is a 3 of spades, young Charles, all the way from Hawaii, from Honolulu, has been able to affect this deck of cards in Groton, Connecticut. So he very, very well done, Charles. And sometime when I see you, I'll give you this card as a memento of the time that you did one heck of a magic trick with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay. I've been meaning to get our little friend here back because we're pretty much done with our little presentation. I know you all want to see him, but he doesn't want to cooperate. Well, I hope there's a Elmwood 184 in the wings because tree is out of commission or not. And that brings me to the end of Mysterium and back to where I was as a little kid who got involved with magic, who loved magic, who wanted to share it with people. And, you know, when you go home tonight or when you go to bed tonight, I guess we're all home. As I said, you can stare at the ceiling and you can try to figure out how all these tricks are done, but I'd rather you just smile and bask in the warm glow of wonder, because wonder is really what magic is all about. And God knows in the day and age we live in, wonder and hope are something we need. So thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed the show. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them. I'm not sure what they would be, but that's my show.
Well done, Todd.
Thank you, Russ.
Great job.
Yeah, wonderful.
It was fun.
Congratulations.
That is
Great job,
Good job,
Todd.
Todd.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Hi,
When's
Charles.
the next one?
Anytime, give me a month or so or two to dust off some of the old ones and learn some of the new ones. As you said, some of them don't go quite the way I want, but I'm happy to do them. They take a lot of work, but they're a lot of fun. And I hope we soon get back to the day when we can all be in the same room and I can feel the energy. I have no idea how many people are out there. I get no reaction. So as a performer, it's a bizarre experience. It's like performing, I don't know, you know, in the darkness. But I appreciate your showing up. I appreciate those of you who helped me. And I really do want to do it in person soon because I love doing it. To me, magic is a gift you give other people. And it is the gift of moments away from life's troubles and life's realities and a land of dreams.
Todd, do we get to see your assistant?
There she is.
There you are.
I was running back and forth, so I turned my video off. And I was in the
Great job.
moderator.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
I wish
Great
I were
job.
to wave my wand and have this virus be gone and make it, to,
I know.
but I'm limited to coins and cards and such, so I'll do my best. But I wish everyone to be safe and be well, and happy holidays.
Yeah,
Happy
Aloha
holidays to you. Thank you.
Cousins.
Bye-bye, thanks.
Hi,
Joe.
thank you. Bye.
Estes.
Excellent show.
Cousin.
Thank you.